Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something that might sting a little. Have you ever noticed how that younger woman at work, the gym, or even your social circle, seems to light up more around older men than guys her own age? Maybe you've watched it happen and thought, what do they have that I don't? It's not just money, not always looks, and definitely not luck. There's something far deeper, something psychological, that draws her in before she even realizes it. Stay with me, because once you understand it, you'll never see attraction the same way again. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and like this video, because what I'm about to reveal will change the way you think about women forever. Now here's the truth most men miss. Younger women aren't always attracted to older men because of power or status. They're drawn to the emotional atmosphere older men create, that quiet confidence that doesn't beg for validation. Most younger men are still chasing. Older men? They've stopped running. And that stillness is magnetic. It makes a woman feel safe in a world that constantly makes her feel like she has to perform. When she looks at an older man, she senses emotional certainty. He's lived through storms, heartbreak, failure, rejection, and he doesn't flinch anymore. That emotional endurance radiates from him, and for her, it feels like home. Younger men often mirror uncertainty. They seek approval, compete with everyone, and confuse intensity for connection. But a woman doesn't just crave excitement, she craves anchoring. An older man becomes that anchor, calm in chaos, patient in passion, grounded in purpose. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most women don't consciously decide this. It's subconscious, wired deep into her survival instincts. She feels that an older man won't emotionally vanish when life gets messy. His composure makes her feel like she can finally let her guard down. And that moment of exhale, is what attraction really is for her. It's not the age, it's the energy. So if you've ever wondered why younger women keep orbiting older men, you're about to discover it's not a coincidence. It's evolution, psychology, and emotional mastery intertwined. Stay with me, because now we're going even deeper into what truly pulls her toward him. Here's where it gets real. Younger women don't just want an older man, they want what he represents. You see, maturity isn't about age, it's about energy, restraint, and direction. An older man gives off the sense that he's been through things, that he's seen the worst of life and still stands tall. That kind of presence hits differently. It makes her feel like she can finally stop pretending to be perfect. Think about this. A younger guy often approaches women like he's trying to win something. There's pressure, performance, and hidden insecurity. But an older man? He doesn't chase, he chooses. He doesn't try to impress her, he observes her. He listens, not to reply, but to understand. And that subtle difference changes everything. She feels seen, not studied, heard, not hunted. That's why so many younger women describe their attraction to older men as peaceful. Because for once, she's not being measured against an invisible standard. She's being met. Older men tend to slow things down, not because they're uninterested, but because they know real connection can't be rushed. That patience communicates something powerful. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to understand you. When a woman feels emotionally understood, her body and mind respond before her logic catches up. That's why she starts thinking about him more, craving his presence, trusting him faster. Her nervous system feels safe. But here's the paradox. Many men try to fake this energy. They mimic calmness, copy the gestures, even speak slower, but it doesn't work. Because this kind of attraction can't be acted. It has to be earned. It comes from a man's relationship with himself. If he's fought his battles, learned to be alone without being lonely, faced rejection without bitterness, and built his life without needing constant validation, that depth shows up in every conversation. That's the man she can't stop thinking about. She might tell her friends she doesn't know why she likes him, but subconsciously, she's drawn to the emotional stability he brings, a presence that feels like both protection and freedom at once. That's what younger women see in older men, Not wrinkles, but wisdom. Not control, but composure. Not experience for the sake of ego, but the quiet confidence that says, I don't need to impress you. I just need to be real with you. And that realness, that's where attraction begins to burn. Let's go even deeper, because what really draws a younger woman to an older man isn't just his maturity, it's the emotional contrast he gives her. In a world full of overstimulation, constant texting, loud opinions, and emotional chaos, an older man feels like silence. And silence, to a woman who's always performing, feels like power. You see, younger women live in a generation that glorifies attention. Social media has trained them to be seen, but not understood. So when she meets a man who isn't captivated by surface beauty, who pauses, listens, and studies her energy rather than her body, she feels something rare. She feels depth. And it scares her a little because it's new, but it also pulls her in. Older men have mastered one skill younger men often overlook: emotional containment. That doesn't mean they're cold. It means they don't spill energy everywhere. They don't text impulsively. They don't overshare. And they don't crumble when a woman pulls away. That control makes her respect him, because when a man can master himself, she knows instinctively he can handle her. And make no mistake, attraction for a woman isn't just about excitement. It's about safety within excitement. She wants to feel her emotions come alive without fearing she'll lose herself in the process. An older man gives her that paradox: thrill mixed with stability, tension balanced by trust. Younger men often make one mistake. They compete for her attention instead of earning her respect. They lead with what they think she wants: status, muscles, charm. But older men lead with what women feel: presence, patience, and purpose. It's subtle. When he looks at her, he's not evaluating, he's inviting. His gaze doesn't say, "You're mine." It says, "You're safe here." That difference disarms her defenses faster than any compliment. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about alignment. Women respond to energy that feels grounded, and older men carry that because they've faced themselves. They've lived enough life to stop pretending. So when she chooses him, she's not choosing an age gap. She's choosing emotional gravity, the kind that pulls her back down from the noise of the world and reminds her what it feels like to actually connect. And once she feels that, there's no going back to boys who only know how to chase attention. Now let's pull back the curtain even more, because the attraction younger women feel toward older men often begins long before they ever exchange words. It starts in the way he moves through the world, his pace, his posture, his calm detachment. It's not arrogance, it's assurance. He's not trying to prove anything, because life has already tested him, and she can feel that. Older men don't operate from the same frantic energy most younger men do. They're not in a hurry to convince anyone of their worth. That quiet confidence becomes magnetic. A woman senses it immediately. The way he makes eye contact without flinching, the way he pauses before speaking, how he doesn't force conversation. These are subtle cues that signal leadership without domination. She interprets that as strength. When she's around him, she notices something else too. He's selective. Not cold, but intentional. And that selectiveness makes her curious. Why isn't he chasing? Why isn't he flirting like everyone else? That mystery stirs something primal in her psychology, because the man who doesn't seek attention becomes the one who has it. But here's the twist. This isn't about manipulation or acting alpha. It's about self-awareness. Older men who attract younger women do so because they've learned emotional discipline. They don't speak just to fill silence. They don't argue to be right. They don't need to be seen to know their value. That restraint becomes power. Younger women, consciously or not, are testing for stability. Not perfection, stability. They want to know, will this man still be calm when things get chaotic? Will he protect my peace instead of competing for dominance? Most younger men react, older men respond. That difference creates trust, and trust is the foundation of feminine surrender. It's also why so many women describe older men as addictive, not because of the thrill, but because of the relief. Around him, she doesn't feel like she's in a constant emotional tug-of-war. She feels seen, accepted, and grounded. That safety, ironically, makes her even more passionate, because passion without peace burns out fast. But passion built on peace? That's the kind that consumes her quietly, completely, and without chaos. So when you hear someone say, she just wants a provider, no. What she really wants is presence. A man whose life is already full, but still has space for her. That's what makes him irresistible. Here's the part few people ever talk about: the psychological imprint that makes younger women instinctively drawn to older men. It's not just attraction. It's attachment psychology in motion. Most women, especially those in their 20s, are surrounded by chaos, emotionally unavailable men, inconsistent communication, and a dating culture built on short attention spans. So when an older man enters her life, his steadiness feels like a kind of emotional gravity. He grounds her nervous system without even trying. He texts less, but means every word. He doesn't rush intimacy. He builds comfort. He's not trying to take from her. He's there to share something real. And that shift changes everything. Because in her subconscious, it reminds her of something she's been missing. Not a father figure, not control, but security with mystery. A man who makes her feel safe enough to be feminine again. See, younger men often chase excitement, while older men offer depth. Excitement fades, depth grows. That's why when she's with him, the world feels slower, softer, almost cinematic. She doesn't have to filter her emotions or play it cool. He doesn't punish her for being sensitive. He respects it. He doesn't mock vulnerability. He values it. And that, for a woman, is deeply erotic, because it's rare. What's even more fascinating? He rarely raises his voice, but when he speaks, she listens. Not because he demands respect, but because his words carry weight. And weight comes from experience, from loss, from lessons learned the hard way. She feels his calmness and senses that it wasn't always there, that it was earned. That's what makes her admire him. To her, he's not just older, he's anchored. He knows who he is. He's not swayed by trends, validation, or the endless noise of modern dating. And when she's around him, she starts to feel more grounded too, like his calm is contagious. So when she chooses him, she's not chasing status or money. She's chasing peace. She's chasing the feeling of being understood without explaining herself. She's chasing maturity that doesn't make her feel small, but rather seen. And the irony? That kind of attraction isn't about her being young. It's about him being centered. That's what she falls for. The kind of man who no longer performs, because he's already become. Now, let's uncover the final truth, the one most men will never understand. Younger women don't just desire older men for what they have or even who they are. They desire the energy they radiate. That calm, collected, deeply rooted energy is magnetic because it mirrors something she subconsciously craves. Stability without suffocation, intensity without chaos. An older man doesn't compete with her. He doesn't push her to prove herself. He holds space for her emotions and ambitions simultaneously. That presence teaches her, without words, that attraction isn't about control or games. It's about connection and alignment. She feels empowered, not drained. That empowerment, paradoxically, makes her more drawn to him. She feels alive, yet secure. A combination younger men often fail to create. And here's the harsh truth. Many younger men will never understand this because they've never had to earn their own energy. They still outsource their confidence to validation, social media, or fleeting attention. Older men, on the other hand, have wrestled with their failures, heartbreaks, and insecurities. They've stared themselves in the mirror and said, "I am enough." That self-possession becomes irresistible, almost hypnotic, to a woman who has been starved of it. It's why she finds herself thinking about him long after they part ways. It's why she values his opinion even in casual conversations. And it's why, in moments of doubt or insecurity, she instinctively seeks him out. Not because he offers answers, but because his presence reminds her of stability. Attraction at this level isn't superficial. It's not about muscles, looks, or flashy words. It's about emotional authority, consistency, and integrity. And here's the kicker. Younger women don't just notice it intellectually, they feel it physically. Every interaction with an older man who carries himself this way reinforces the subconscious idea that he is safe, reliable, and deeply desirable. So if you've ever wondered why younger women are drawn to older men, it's not luck, not timing, not money. It's energy, presence, emotional mastery, wisdom that cannot be faked. And once you understand this truth, you realize that attraction isn't just about dating. It's about becoming the kind of man who is magnetic on every level. Remember, it's not her age, it's your energy. And if you master that, no age gap will ever matter.